Hey guys, it's Ashley, and here's the thing. Right now, I'm a total sideshow. I'm a total freak, and everybody is kind of obsessed with watching what I'm doing and how I'm reacting to things in my life, and I get it. And I want you to watch, and there's a reason. So stay tuned, and I'll tell you why. So there's a lot going on in my life right now. I'm a widow, and that was unexpected. I'm not just a widow. I'm a widow from, my husband getting a UTI of all things. A UTI is something that normally is completely freaking treatable. We all get UTIs all the time. And you drink your cranberry juice, sometimes get an antibiotic. But he got a UTI during COVID. And because we had the most mild cases ever of COVID previously, months, weeks before, and, they're still just barely learning what the effects of COVID are on your body long term. His body was just completely wrecked and unable to fight it off. And his liver failed, then his kidneys failed. They thought maybe he might have like a brain bleed. He went into a coma, and then his heart just gave out. His lungs were failing. His lung had a partial collapse. He was on a ventilator. His body went into septic shock, like from a UTI. Guys, a UT freaking I. Like, how does this even happen? There are days that I still wake up and I'm like, how the hell did this happen? Like, how? How did this go like this? How this has to be a joke, right? Like, and I just wait for him to like come around the corner and be like, just kidding, I'm here. What do you want to get for dinner? And then not only am I a widow with disabilities. I'm a widow who has to navigate the system to make sure that I'm getting my, disability benefits, and that I'm getting my health care taken care of, and that I'm taking care of myself and my, my medications, that I've got access to what I need physically, that I actually went into sepsis while he was in there because of my port. And if I hadn't recognized some of the signs that he was going through, I would have been in the same situation. My liver and my kidneys were starting to be affected. He actually, by having some of the same symptoms, saved my life. This whole thing is insane. And, a lot of it, when it comes to the grief, I'm still in shock. I'm still very much in shock. And it still doesn't feel real to me a lot of the times. I still keep waiting for him to be like, just kidding, I'm home. This whole thing was a joke. And sometimes it hits me very hard, and I have to reach for the Xanax and put on my essential oils and take deep breaths, and I just have a panic attack. And but I want you to take a couple things from this. Listen to your body. If something is wrong, listen to your freaking body and get help. I had a huge fear of going to the hospital because I was convinced going to the hospital during COVID season would be a death sentence, right? Especially for me with all of my conditions. So I was like, oh no, if I go to the hospital, this is going to be a death sentence. I'm going to get COVID and die. If you have to get medical treatment, go to the freaking hospital, okay? Listen to your body. If you need help, go. If you need to see the doctor, go. They do have protocols in place to try to protect you. and it's better than the alternative. So, you know, you got to take care of your body. You got to listen to your body. If something's wrong, listen to your freaking body. I have a friend who, you know, we're from the same town. I don't think I've ever crossed paths with her in person. Somehow we ended up being Facebook friends, you know, just friends of friends from the same hometown. And I was just heavy on her heart with what I've been going through. And she has checked on me every single day, guys. Every single day. She messages me and she's like, how are you doing? Do you need anything? What's going on? And she messaged me last night and she's like, look, I just want you to know, as much as this probably isn't going to bring you comfort, she was like, I want you to know that my life has changed because of what you've been through. And I am reevaluating how I appreciate things. And instead of just assuming my husband's going to come home every night from the oil field and just taking for granted that, like, okay, my kids are going to be good, my husband's going to be good, I'm sitting there and I'm appreciating them and I'm saying, okay, I love you, you know, like I'm appreciating every little interaction I have with them, every little moment. And that's what I want you to take from this, because, you know, my mom had cancer this year. I've had really rough battles with my health, but I always just took for granted that, like, things will work out. Even when I was given a horrible prognosis, they're like, it's going to be like 2 years. I was like, things will work out. We'll figure it out. Like, it always works out. But guys, sometimes it doesn't. And that's life. And you've got to sit there and always be positive. I mean, always be hopeful. But at the same time, appreciate the people in your life. You know, don't take those little moments for granted. Don't take those relationships for granted. You know, sit there and really take time to appreciate the people. And, you know, let the little things go. The little things that might annoy you about someone, the little things that, you know, like, gosh, I hate when he kicks off his shoes like that, or I hate when she, you know, like, chews like that, or something like that. Let it go. Appreciate the person as a whole. You know, just drink in the moments and appreciate it. And just, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, even when he was getting in that ambulance, I thought for sure he's going to get in the ambulance, they're going to give him some antibiotics, and he'll probably be home tonight. And he never came home. He didn't come home until he was cremated and in an urn. You know. So, it's very hard. You just never know what's going to happen. And, you know, take something from that. Take time and appreciate the people around you. Take time. God, I swore I was not going to cry. But at least, you know what, guys? At least I finally got waterproof mascara and eyeliner. Because clearly it sneaks up on me. But just take time to appreciate what's around you. Take time to appreciate it. And, you know, it's interesting. I always feared death as the worst possible thing that could happen to me. And I don't fear death anymore. Like, I'm not saying I'm suicidal or anything like that, but I don't fear death one day, because one day when it is my time, naturally my time, you know, when God says this is your actual time, it'll be okay, because you know what? I will be with, you know, my dogs that passed away, and I'll be with my husband again, and that'll be a beautiful thing, and I'll have that opportunity to see him again. And so I'm no longer scared of death one day. And so that has changed my perspective as well. And again, I'm not suicidal by any means. I'm going to live my life to the fullest in the meantime. I'm just saying that when it is my correct time that God has predestined and predetermined, I'll welcome it. And I'll say, okay, it's time to go to my heavenly home. Whatever, your belief system is and whatever you think happens, that's for you. I'm just saying I won't fear that anymore, which is great because that was something that I, in my life, had always feared as like the worst possible thing that would ever happen to me. And I don't. So this has changed my perspective a lot about life and death. And so I just wanted to pass on those words of wisdom. And I hope some of that can help some of you. And yeah, so I'm going to keep living my life for John and think of him every day and live how he would want me to live. And he will always be in my heart. And I will always be thinking of him. I'll have his photos everywhere around me. I will, always be wearing my wedding ring. I have his wedding ring around my neck. This was actually the first ring that he gave to me as kind of a promise ring. It's a ring that he made in high school in shop class. It's out of like titanium. And he was like, I know it wouldn't fit you, but would you mind wearing it around your neck as a promise ring? And so this is actually my most prized possession in the world. And this, the mortuary got me in touch with this jeweler that they worked with. This is actually his thumbprint. And then it's got his birthstone on it. And on the back, it has his initials. So when I really miss like holding his hand, I actually put my thumb against his thumbprint. So that's what all of these things around my neck are. So whenever I'm really missing him, I just kind of grab it close because all my most prized possessions in the world are around my neck. So anyway, I hope you all are having a great weekend, and I will talk more to you later. Bye.